Lisa McKelvey reporting there. Well, Chinese New Year festivities kicked off last night and Chinese nationals are celebrating virtually every town in Ireland. There's a very significant Chinese community living here. So what do they make of the place? And what about trade opportunities from Ireland to China? Well, I'm joined now by Xiumin Tao from the Ireland-China Business Association, by Lourdes Sexton, who is the China TV correspondent for Ireland, and by Ken Duggan, who's chair of the Ireland-China Business Association. First of all, we're going to see how the Chinese report on Ireland.
Ireland is the first Eurozone nation to emerge from its rescue commitments. Lourdes Sexton reports that a rebound in jobs is a major part of the recovery.
Figures from Ireland's Central Statistics Office show that seasonally adjusted unemployment is at its lowest level in 4 years, standing below 13%. But what's striking about these recent figures is the level of employment growth.
It's amazing, Lourdes, watching that report. I mean, that's a state-run Chinese TV channel that is... how many viewers would you have on that
We
English
have
service?
85 million viewers across
85 million?
Across 100 countries, yeah.
My goodness. So you are broadcasting to English-speaking people interested in China, or indeed Chinese nationals, I suppose, who are living outside China all over the world.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a mix because obviously it goes across 100 countries. So it's a mix of Chinese people internationally or people in China who perhaps want to speak English. But a lot of these reports are translated into Mandarin or different languages as well.
Oh, I see. So they'd be run on the main channel.
They'd be run on the main channel as well.
Lourdes, how interested is the Chinese state channel in Ireland? I mean, how many reports a week would you be doing for them?
Well, it depends on the week, but I could be doing 2 to 3 most weeks here. And
2 to 3 from Ireland,
yeah.
So there's a significant interest
Fantastic interest in Ireland because obviously it's 24 hours, so we have a lot of different programmes in those 24 hours. So there's culture, there's arts, there's business, so there's a massive interest. And I think in 2013 there was a serious amount of interest because of the European presidency,
of
the
course,
G8,
yeah.
the EU IMF bailout. So it was last year was quite busy for Chinese looking at Ireland and what's happening here.
Okay. Well, Xiumin, if I can bring you in, I mean, you came to Ireland about, what, 8 years ago?
Yeah.
And why did you come?
Initially, I was coming here for study. I had my master's degree here in DCU back to 2005, actually.
2005 to do a master's degree.
Yeah.
But now you work facilitating Irish people who want to take a business opportunity
or
to
targeting
China.
the Chinese market or sell it to Chinese.
Yeah, so what do you actually do?
We do one of the major things we do is helping Irish companies who are interested or start looking into the Chinese market and see how they can get into the markets, what they can do there, how they do there. And also we do help them translate their websites or their materials so that Chinese people can read them, can understand what they're supplying, and also building the connection between their either potential Chinese partners or their Chinese customer, the connection between the Irish company and them. And also, apart from that, we have our own magazine as well, which is Returning Chinese. All the information is about Ireland, about Irish business, Irish companies, and Irish tourism attractions. So just building the channel for Chinese to know more about Irish.
So you do it both ways, if you like. You help Irish people who want to go out there for business and help Chinese people who want to come here for tourism, I suppose.
It's tourism and business with it as well, yeah.
And just to go back to your own story, why did you pick Ireland to do your master's in? I mean, would it be a well-known place to come and do third level?
Very good question. At the time, I know Ireland is very close to UK and it's English-speaking country. And the main reason I came here is because I got scholarship from DCU, so that they return some of the academic fee.
I see, because they're huge, aren't they, the fees, if you're a non-EU national?
Yeah, it's
right.
like a 5-6 times of compared to the Irish students.
Right, so it was Ireland or England really you were interested in and you got the scholarship.
Yeah.
And Ken, if I can go to you, I mean, you're chair of the association now. Mm-hmm. You do business in China yourself. Just talk to me about that experience. How difficult is it for an Irish businessman to suddenly decide, I'm going to break into this massive Chinese market?
Well, I think the key, and Xiumin has already referred to it, it's about relationships and building relationships. The most important thing in dealing with China is to think in terms of relationships, not in terms of business. You set up a relationship with a friend who puts you in contact with another friend in China, and you may have to spend a year or two. One thing you learn about doing business in China is you've got to be very, very patient, very, very diligent, and be very truthful with your Chinese partner. And I think if you take that approach, and I think if you bite off what I would call a small chunk, because you can get absolutely mesmerized by the figures and the population, 1.3 billion, one province alone, 52 million, nearly the size of France. If you go that route, you'll be just boggle-eyed.
Yeah.
So you just really have to say, well, I'm going to go to maybe one small city. Now, a small city again could be something like 1 or 2 million. For example, by the year 2020, there will be over 200 cities in China with a million-plus population.
200 cities, my goodness. I mean,
So
it does sound quite overwhelming. But talk to me about the trade numbers. There is a significant... We all associate China with that we import quite a lot from China.
Yes,
you see made in China, an awful lot of things.
Yes.
But actually, it's the other way around when you look at the figures.
Yes, we export somewhere in the region of 3.8 billion goods to China.
3.8 billion euros worth of goods?
Of goods, yes, to China. And in reverse, we import about 2.1 billion. So we've got something like, if my maths are correct, 1.7 billion of a trade surplus. So it really is very, very important for our economy. And I think there are lots of things happening. The Irish government has just announced it's opening up a consulate in Hong Kong, which I welcome. I think it's great. The investment portfolio of $100 million into the tech sector from Atlantic Chinese Investment Corporation, which is going to encourage Chinese companies to invest in Ireland. And indeed, Lourdes was reporting on Ireland's economy there because of the bailout. It's been reported in a lot of Chinese newspapers now that Ireland is a safe country to invest in.
Yeah, well, that's good news. I know I know it's Chinese New Year. I'm sure you were all celebrating it last night. We have some footage of some of the festivities, I think, that were going on last night. But can I ask you just while I'm with you, Ken, what exactly are we exporting to China?
I'm sorry?
What are we exporting to China? What do we have that the Chinese want?
Well, I suppose the principal success story, and there's been an increase in the last year of over 40% in our trading with China, is in the food and agribusiness.
Food and agribusiness, right.
Because
the big
of our
growth areas
climate,
in the Irish
because
economy,
of our
really.
health, grass-fed cattle, corn-fed chicken and so on, our natural resources are our best actual product to export to China.
And Shimon, we're looking at these pictures. Food, I'd say, was a big part of the festivities last night.
Sure,
Those festivities go on for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, 2 weeks. From today, actually today is the first day of the Chinese New Year. We celebrate that for up to for 14th of February, which is altogether is 15 days.
Right, and what are you going to be doing?
We will, like, on the Chinese New Year's Eve, usually we will have, like, we will eat, like, family will gathering together. We have dumplings, we have, like, different dishes, lovely Chinese dishes. And then going forward, like, we will have different celebrations, like just have different shows, performance, like especially this year in Dublin, there we have different musician performing. Like today, I think it's the Interested BC Library, and on I think Saturday is in Kildare Village, and there are different events on. Right,
so lots of events on if you want to look it up on the internet. But look, we'll leave it there for today, but thank you all very much indeed for coming into us this morning. And now it's time for the sports news, and Jackie Hurley is here. Jackie.
Thanks, Keelan.